Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Frank Han here, and it is absolutely great to see you here tonight. Tonight, I'm very, very excited to share another fantastic keyword research tool for you. And the biggest problem that we all have as affiliate marketer is get into the right niche. Once you get to find out what the right niche to target, you got to make sure it's evergreen. You make sure people, once you're providing the excellent review, excellent information, they won't willing apart the money with it, right? So because you are in the business to selling something to make a profit for your business and your family, isn't it? So evergreen, and make sure people are willing to spend the money, and in reasonable passion. They're gonna be absolutely, you want to be in a passion niche. You don't want to be on some obscure niches where people come and go. So you can't really make a lot of money with it. So those three different important elements you need to really get into the right niche. So what happened after that? You gotta really find that cool, awesome money-making keywords, right? Is all the keywords you're ranking in the past has made money for you? The answer is absolutely no, right? And what you want to look in specifically for is buying keywords. Those words have perhaps the word review right after the product name review usually, and how-to keywords. What to buy, before you buy. Those are the good title lines for your review articles, right? So what if there is a tool, hypothetically say, there is a tool can help you not only for finding a passionate niche, finding the trending niche, also finding profit keywords, also finding profit domains, not just niche related domain, but branding domains, but also find engaging headlines for your articles, all in one software for very affordable price, and the speed is pretty fast once you see it. Would you be interested? Well, if you are really serious affiliate marketers, authority bloggers, or any kind of internet marketers that rely on Google searching engines or any kind of search engine traffic, you would definitely be interested in this, right? So this is the reason, ladies and gentlemen, I have invited Paul Clifford here to talk about a brand new keyword tool of his, Keyword XP. Now this is version 3.0, so he already have 1.0 and 2.0 launched in a couple years. So he pretty much devoted all his life doing this kind of software. So he have Kunaki, which is doing the curation contents, and he got this Keyword XP 3.0. It used to be a monthly fee, now for very limited time, and to get lifetime access for a very affordable price. He also going to be here sharing some cool tips about niche research, keyword selecting, okay? Because if you do all the work doing SEO and target the wrong keyword, guess what happens? You won't make any money. And he said a very cool principle inside this interview is that it's not about which keyword to rank, it's about what kind of traffic you're getting. So watch this interview in detail, find out what exactly he mean by that, okay? That's like probably one of the aha moment you're gonna have doing this awesome interview. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please let me introduce to you the Keyword XP. Keyword XP. Now, what I love about this software is this is a Mac and PC friendly software. I think the speed of finding keywords is pretty amazingly fast, okay? All right, so this is the one's not only gonna give you CPC value, give you trending value, but what this keyword tool, no other keyword tool does, what I've seen so far, is also come out with in the exactly questions people are asking about the topic, about the niche itself. And on top of that, you no longer have to go out there, spend $10,000, $20,000, hire copywriters to come up with the engaging headlines to post on your blog. So people actually click on it and read on it and taking action with it, right? So if you can't get the headline right, you pretty much screwed, right? So that's separating a pro versus somebody just beginning. Now, those headlines are bullet tested with, a website like Trustworthy, or I'm sorry, Buzzworthy and the BuzzFeed website. What they all have? They have an engaging headline. Over time, they have built 1.6 million visitors. Now you can, using this to pretty much over time achieve the same thing, because those are the headlines you really just with a couple of click buttons you can get. I think you're gonna have to see this in live demo to know exactly what I'm talking about. So be very exciting about this, okay? All right, so let's come back to the interview here. Well, Paul is gonna be here share his very unique internet marketing story. where he, is working very, very high-end job, like such as a CIO or CTO, the chief of technology, chief of big, large corporations. But he wasn't happy. Was he happy? You see, people making six figures already, will they come to internet marketing? Well, he's one of the cool examples that, yes, I'm making decent money working work, but I still want to work for myself, and I can make this happen. Well, just because he's high up there, will he have struggles? The answer is absolutely yes. Listen to the interview, find out what his own struggle with internet marketing is, and how, most importantly, how he overcome it, okay? All right, so now he actually living in the US now. Last time, about a year ago in interview, he was still Europe, somewhere in Europe. Now he moved his whole entire family into California, living in very, very cool places. Most people want to dream of when they live, okay? All right, so learn how he was able to take what he knows and what he can do, get into the internet marketing and be very, very successful at it, okay? So listen to this interview to find out what that is, and listen to the SEO tips and keyword tips. I think you're going to pick up some golden nuggets in there to how to instantly improve your affiliate marketing with the Google search engine as well, okay? All right, but most importantly, stick around. Watch a live demo he's doing with this keyword software, so you're going to instantly see how this is going to really save you tons of time, help you avoid bad keywords to going after. Make sure every keyword you target is trending keywords. That means the trends are going up, not going down, okay? And also how easily is to come up engaging headlines now without even having to think about it, okay? All right, so you're gonna absolutely love that. And so for now, let's all be very, very excited. Let's go all enjoying this awesome interview, and go grab this for very limited time. He's opened this for lifetime access for very, very affordable price. Look out for my email tomorrow as well, okay? So for now, my unconditional love to you and your family. Keep smiling, and until next time, this is your friend Han. I'll be talking to you very, very soon. Cheers! Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend Han here, and it is absolutely great to see you here this evening. And today I'm very, very excited to have Paul with us again, and it's been a while, to teach us some cool stuff with the SEO and keyword research and issue research as well. And what I'm more exciting is about this brand new software he came out, actually the third version of it, that's really, really going to help you find not just more traffic, but more click to your site as well. He's going to go into more detail about what this is and how this is really going to benefit you. So be very exciting about that. And before we get into all these excitements here, let's kind of learn how Paul got started with the internet marketing. But most importantly, what did he do exactly to achieve the level of success he has today? So Paul, would you kind of take over the mic, share your unique internet marketing story with us today?
Absolutely, and listen, thanks for having me on. It's been like a year since I was last talking to your tribe, and right. It was a pleasure then, and it's a pleasure now. Mm-hmm. So sure. Well, my story, it started. My background, but for years I was like a corporate, a person who worked in corporate IT. And I worked for various software companies, and I was a CTO, which was a Chief Technology Officer. And so, basically my job was to build the technology for 3 startups, and we sold all 3 startups. And, and I really wanted, even though that was really good and really successful, I wanted to get out of the corporate world. I really, really wanted to work for myself and run my own business and all this sort of stuff. And so that's how I got into internet marketing, and you kind of do it on the side. And I spent years, just on the side, just trying everything. And now I know that trying everything was the biggest mistake, the biggest mistake ever. It's the last thing. What you should do is just stick to one thing, and just pursue that right until the very end. And it's the only way to actually, get to success. But what I did start having success with was, through SEO, through niche research and finding pockets of traffic. And in those days, what I was doing is I was doing e-commerce sites, and I was ranking websites that sold things like wine fridges, wine coolers and things like that. And then I had another one that was selling like trampolines, the garden trampolines that you have. And so, over time, I ended up with like about 4 or 5 of these e-commerce sites that were shipping in drop shipping, physical products. And all I was doing was ranking using SEO. And so that's where a lot of my skills came from, within SEO. And I took a lot of that expertise. And as soon as I started seeing success with that, a lot of it was very labor intensive. So I then started like using my software expertise to see like, well, how can I like speed all this stuff up? How can I make it easier? And how can I make it faster for everyone? And that's how I really started creating marketing tools. And I created a tool quite a few years ago now called Page One Curator, which enabled people to curate content for the websites. And curation is just a way of grabbing other people's content but doing it in a really ethical way, and reusing that content on your blogs. And in fact, it's the very essence of blogging and journalism and all that sort of stuff. So most sites do that now today anyway. So so I did that, and then last time we spoke, I launched like a much more advanced version of that called Kudani. And Kudani again is all about curating content but also marketing that content as well. Okay, so being able to do that to multiple blogs, creating lots of posts really easily and quickly, and especially focusing on so that's like my story. So I literally I went from like the corporate world, and on the side started learning internet marketing, made all the mistakes, gave up, or almost gave up so many times, and then just kept going, and then finally started having success, and then turned that into software, and then just built on that over time. And so that's we were talking a minute ago, what I've done now is I decided to move out to California, and move the family out here and start to enjoy a bit of the lifestyle.
Right. I think a lot of people want to be in where you at in your shoes right now, where you're at right now. So kind of knowing the up and downs and the success and the failure that you have with the internet market, because you've been doing this for a long time now. What would be some of the top advice you can give to someone who just starting out, perhaps they still haven't found a way in the internet marketing? Internet marketing is never lacking of ideas. There's too many ideas. People are pretty much everywhere sometimes when it comes to internet marketing. What would it be some of the top of the advice you can give it to them to maybe point them to the right direction?
So I think first of all stick to one thing. It's such a broad field, internet marketing. I mean there are so many different things you can Facebook marketing, social media. You can learn the SEO or content marketing as we call it nowadays. You can learn paid traffic. There are so many different things, and most people give up, and I can understand why. We get bombarded with emails. I get them as well, and everything looks right. This could be something new. This could be something new, and it's best to try and just focus, on one thing and just develop your skills. So that's one thing I would say. The second thing is really learn some of the basics of the actual psychology of marketing. Understand the fact that you've really got to in direct response marketing, which is what we're kind of in. You've really got to like explain a problem and understand and explain why it's a problem to the audience, and then provide the solution, etc. And understanding these very basics in terms of the psychology and copywriting, it is like a real foundation to any sort of marketing online. So you really got to get to grips with that.
Yeah,
Um,
I couldn't agree more. And I think the number one tip you give to us, pretty much everyone in everyone who I ever interview, give that solid tip as well, which is be focused. You gotta get rid of distractions, be focused on one thing. But sometimes that does take you trying out different things, then find the winner, then focus on. But
yeah,
the second thing that you point out that not many people talk about, I think so far, if I remember, you're talking about here is actually you have to become a marketer before you become an internet marketer. Another person say there's no such thing as internet marketing. Marketing is marketing. Internet is just another way for you to communicating. And so you really have to spend the time, you know, do your fundamental studies of marketing before you can become a successful internet marketer.
yeah. I mean, it's everywhere in life. You know, you're being marketed to, and you can draw parallels. I mean, let's take for example, so in internet marketing, you know, that we have this concept called the upsell. You know, you buy a front end product, and then you're upsold something else, and then something else, right? So you know, that's not just internet marketing. Yeah, that's in the real world. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you go into McDonald's, right? You know, or Burger King, you know, and you buy your burger, and you're upsold to a drink, and do you want a bigger drink? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want the full package? You know, the chips, you know, the fries and the drink and the burger. You know what I mean? That's all just upselling. It's all marketing, right?
Mm-hmm. And
And
and the
that's
one
exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, when a lot of people give the example of upsell, they think of McDonald's because they're kind of pioneer of that. But one thing that if you ever go to a movie, you know the majority of the money is making on the food stamp, not in the movie ticket. So
Yeah, the
that's a
popcorn.
yeah, the popcorns and the
I mean,
like a meal, you know.
I mean,
So
yeah. I
that's
mean, like $7 or something, or even $10 for like a popcorn, which
right,
costs them like I don't know, 10 cents or something to make. I don't know what it is, but I mean, the
right. So
margin is
So that
extreme.
so there are. I mean, they're everywhere in life. So if you go to they're basic. That's the business model. Get them into the front, watching the movie, and let's sell lots of popcorns.
Yeah,
And that's how they make up all the huge margin there. I mean, if you just by selling a movie ticket, they're probably all gonna be closing down pretty
yeah,
soon. So,
absolutely.
so yes, like it, Paul here said that you need to really first of all find a winner that whatever technique, local marketer, content marketing, Facebook marketing, whatever it is you want to focus on, what you're really passionate about, and
Mm,
then you really need to study copywriting, study funnels, study what is it like
yeah.
to persuasive people to buy something. You got to really spend your time on those. Once you master that, then just different either video marketing or content marketing. It's just different ways to communicate, but the foundation is there, so you're gonna
Mm.
something to build up on.
And
So
close down Facebook. Close down Facebook. Do not have Facebook open in the day. You want to lose the day, you know, open Facebook. Just don't do it. It's a disaster.
that's correct. That's correct. So that's why you have a VA help you do all their Facebook marketing for you. You stay out
Yeah,
of.
I
Um,
know.
So let's come back talk about what we're here for. Let's talk about SEO and keyword research a little bit. A lot of people kind of shun away after the so many animal update from Google say, hey, SEO doesn't work anymore. Let's go to some other traffic sources. What do you see that is out there since SEO is one of your focus? Well, is the SEO still working, and how has it been working out for you so far?
Well, I think what's changed significantly is the tricks, all that sort of stuff is, you know, that's what's obviously, you know, being clamped down on.
Mm,
But what sort of come through behind all that is the stuff that a lot of corporates have been doing all the time,
mm,
and they're just putting out, you know, blog posts, and consistently doing it,
mm,
right?
mm,
And then promoting those posts consistently.
mm.
Okay, so when you put out, you know, one blog post and you might ping it onto Facebook or Twitter or stuff like that, don't just leave it and just that's the end, you know.
Ah,
Because like Twitter, you know, a tweet has something like an 18-second lifespan. right?
Wow.
So after 18 seconds it's gone, so you need to like push tweets out. If you're going to promote a post, for example, you need to probably promote that post like 4 times in a day, and then do it again over like two more times that week, and then the following week, and then the following week. You need to just keep promoting the same content. Yeah. So coming back to your question though, so what's changed? So I think a couple of things. First of all, the Google is like sites. There's no escaping it, right? So they have always monitored your bounce rate and all that sort of stuff, but they really are really deep into your site, so you can't really do any trickery. So you've really just got to focus on producing stuff like content that people actually want to read. Okay. And one of the things that I teach is to curate content, because by curating content, you're using content that's quite newsworthy, is quite fresh, and you can create quite a big post that's interesting, but in quite a short amount of time, because you don't have to write it all from scratch. You can curate it, take bits and pieces from other sources, and then write some content around it. Yeah. And that's what a lot of the big blogs do nowadays anyway. Okay, so you look at anything, Huffington Post, the most famous one of all, but if you look at Gawker, and if you look at like sites like Upworthy, what they're doing is they're just creating stuff that's happening in the news right now. Okay. But the trick is getting engagement. The trick is actually getting people to read and click on your posts. Okay. So when you start getting some ranking, and this is what happened, right? So when I was like getting ranked for keywords and stuff that I thought had traffic, the traffic wasn't really coming through to my site. So you kind of get on page 1 and expect all this traffic, but it just wasn't happening. Okay. And after a while you start to realize, well, you're still appearing there, but people just aren't clicking on your post because it's not interesting enough. Okay, it's not grabbing their attention, and then that all comes down to the title, the subject line of your post, and if you can get that right, then you're going to get engagement. And what the best example of that is Upworthy. So they only started in like 2012, and now they're at 3.4 million unique visitors per day.
Oh wow.
Okay. And all they're doing is they're writing curiosity-led headlines. Yeah. So it makes people want to click. They're curating the content. Okay, so they're not writing everything from scratch. They're picking a topic or something that's happening right now. And obviously they're promoting it, but the topic is in a high volume or a trending niche or something that's happening right now. Okay, so it's those 3 factors that make the real difference. So if you focus, okay, because it's not about just the ranking. It's not about ranking in Google. It's about traffic at the end of the day. All right. So everyone talks about, I want to get onto page 1 for, I don't know, silver dollars or something. I don't know why I said that, but just it's not about just ranking for a keyword. Yeah, it's about getting traffic for that niche. Yeah. And so if you post reasonably regularly with long tail phrases, yeah. And long tail phrases aren't as competitive as the short ones, then you're going to get traffic. All right, and then if you combine that with writing the type of titles that people will click on, then it's all going to come through, right? So and that's what Upworthy and all the other sites like BuzzFeed and Gawker, and they're all doing this. Yeah. And at the end of the day, they've got professional copywriters. Okay. So they are writing you know, not just one headline. For each particular piece of content, they're writing like 25 variations of headlines. Yeah, so you know, it is quite a lot of work for sure. But you know, so this is where the idea of like some software came in. You know, where I was thinking, well, you know, I mean, I can't afford like, you know, to spend $1,000 on each blog title. Okay, you know, for
Right.
yeah. So how can I? Yeah. So how can I create some software that would take, you know, that would allow me to find that like the high volume keywords and the keywords that are trending, the ones that are going up. You know, because I didn't want to write a keyword that was going down. You know, in interest. Yeah. So how could I write something about something that's going up in interest, and then also create an interesting blog title that people will actually want to click on? So that's then where I sort of sat down and thought, well, you know, let's produce something that will help me do that.
Okay, cool. So you kind of summarize up what you said here, that you believe SEO still works, but it just just a little bit tweak, it changed all the tricks. Working in the past doesn't work anymore. You really have to consistently producing content, not just any kind of content, but content that has traffic, right? So newsworthy topics, for example, and the content also have to have very, very attractive headlines so people actually want to click on, because we are pretty much bombarded with different blogs and contents constantly. So you want your blog standing out. Well, the one way to do that is having a very, very eye-catching headline, right?
Right.
And have the right trending keywords. And another thing you kind of mentioned here, is that you don't want to just focus on that ranking the specific keyword. What you want to really focus on is the traffic, right?
Yeah.
Targeted traffic.
Yeah. Exactly. It's not about it's not about ranking a keyword number one, because it could be the wrong keyword, right? You know, you don't know at the end of the day unless you test it, and the only way to test it is to use AdWords and run that same keyword. You know, but that, you know, it does make sense to do that, but you know, you're going to spend like $500, you know, just testing that one keyword. Yeah. So it's best really to focus on a niche that has money, all right, and you can do that by, you know, picking a keyword where there's a high CPC, you know, and there's a lot of advertiser competition, because if you've got a lot of advertiser competition and a high CPC, then you know that if the advertisers are all competing for that keyword, then you know that they're turning that keyword into money, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be competing for it.
Right.
And same for the CPC, yeah.
And another thing you mentioned here is you can't just write a blog and post and hope people are going to come to it. You got to actually have maybe things like content syndication, syndicate to different other network, drive those traffic to you, either to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, just all over the web, basically. In other words. And that's something that people forgotten to do. They think okay, I'm writing content, that's all I need to do. In the real world, you gotta do more work than that. So to get to it, so let's talk about the kind of story behind why did you already touched base on this a little bit here, but why did you create this software, especially the update version of this software, and what is the biggest problem you want to help all the internet marketers solve here?
So, you know, I want to. I mean, at the end of the day, all my software is about saving time. You know, so everything is about, you know, how can I take away the legwork for doing a lot of this stuff. Yeah, and you know, I try and make all my software, you know, quite quick and quite fast, so that it's something you can always have open on your desktop. You know, so it's just always there, so you don't have to like fire up your browser and log into this or log into that. So those are the kind of a couple of things, and I always make the software like cross-platform, so it runs on Windows and it runs on Macs. And with that in mind, then, so with this particular product, you know, what I wanted to do is give you a tool that enabled the marketer to research a niche, so be able to find out which keywords, first of all, are trending, find all the long tail keywords, okay, find the keywords that have, and find the questions that people are asking, you know. So if people are asking about silver, you know, they're probably saying like, you know, what will the price of silver be in 2 years or 5 years? Those types of questions, right? And by asking, by knowing those type of questions, then you know the answers. You know what sort of content to produce. Okay, so then, so that's how to find long tail stuff, and then find the niches that actually have money. Okay, so you don't really want to write about a niche that you know no one's competing for, because then you know when you get all this traffic, they're going to come to your site, but they're not going to buy anything. Okay, and at the end of the day, you want buyers, you don't want browsers. So what I want to do is pull all that together and then provide a tool to help you create more interesting headlines. Yeah. So you know, help you create like, you know, 5 weird tricks to see what the price of silver will be in 2 years' time. You know, whatever it is. And then I've put together a couple of other like really just cool tools for things really to help me. You know, so things like domain names. You know, if I want to see whether the domain is available, you know, you have to log into like Namecheap or GoDaddy or whatever your source is and do some searching. You know, and I kind of wanted that on my desktop as well. I wanted to just put in a keyword, you know, like silver, and it come back with all the, you know, all the domain names around that, and also create a domain name for a brand. Yeah, because you know, keyword domains are really good for ranking local and things, but nowadays you're better off, you know, if you're going to invest all this time on your authority blog, you know, you're better off, you know, creating like a branded domain, you know,
like BuzzFeed, right? I mean,
right?
Yeah, that's a great example. Yeah,
exactly, something like that, you know. So like one of the topics I talk about in my demo was beef jerky, because I've really got into beef jerky over the last 6 months. And you know, so I was like searching domains for beef jerky, and it comes up, and you got all these questions like people saying, so is beef jerky healthy? How much protein is in beef jerky? You know, and all this sort of stuff. And then I was thinking, well, what kind of blog would you create for that? You know, you don't want to create a blog saying beef jerky is healthy recipes. You really want something a bit more catchy. And then, you know, using my domain tool, it comes up with Captain Beef Jerky, and another one was like Dr. Beef Jerky. You know, Dr. Beef Jerky I thought was like a hilarious one, you know, you know, you could be the authority site for beef jerky. I mean,
next thing you'd be wearing the white coat like a doctor doing this interview, talking about beef jerky.
You know, so beef jerky is is the example I've been using. I don't recommend creating an authority site on beef jerky because I'm not sure. I don't know. There might be a lot of buyers in that niche, but you know, I wouldn't want to say go for that niche. I'm sure there's a lot more high value ones, but it's a fun topic, you know. And so that's really why I focused on that.
So maybe would you have maybe a couple of minutes, kind of show us a little bit how this tool works?
Yeah.
So,
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. Why don't we do that? My dog just appeared.
So you can see. Can you see this okay?
Yes.
All right. So the tool, you know, so the tool's called Keyword XP, and you know, so Keyword XP I launched, you know, over 2 years ago as just a long tail keyword tool, and you know, I haven't launched it since, and but I've evolved it over the years to include, you know, a whole ton of more benefits, you know, for marketers. And so, you know, just to give you an idea, so like from a long tail perspective, you know, this first tab here is called suggests, and so you can just click on search, and it just shows you like the topmost you know, keywords, yeah, for jerky. In fact, let's just put in beef jerky to make it a bit more logical. Okay, so these are the topmost searches, all right. So so obviously you can see people are searching for beef jerky recipes, beef jerky oven. They probably want to create beef jerky, you know, using their oven, and against any of these phrases you can click on this trends button here, and it will show you, you know, whether the topic is going up or down. since the dawn of time, since that word existed in Google. So like if I click on beef jerky itself, sorry, if I click on trends itself, then you can see like beef jerky has been fairly consistent. In fact, it's been growing over the last few years. But obviously it's a solid keyword. There's no like big blips there. You know what I mean by that? So what you don't want to do is pick on a keyword that had a lot of traffic, just for 1 month in the year. Yeah, you want something consistent, right? Anyway, so this is just long tails, right? So what you can do is you can drill into these, and by that I mean you can extend beef jerky, that keyword, into lots and lots of other variations, and it just drills down and pulls them down. And I can even put an asterisk front and behind, so I can find everything to do with beef jerky. Okay. And what it pulls out here,
625 results.
I think it's probably gonna,
it's about half.
It's
pretty
might
fast.
even go high. Let's see. I haven't actually done this. This would be interesting. So what it's doing is it's wrapping that. So it's got 1,025 different keywords, all to do with beef jerky. All right. So that's great, okay, but that's just long tail stuff. And you can search not just Google. If you've got like an e-commerce site or an AS, or anything like that, you can search over Amazon. If you're doing video stuff, you can search over YouTube, and all that. So, but then what we also have is this thing called Pro, and Pro pulls down the same kind of keywords, but it pulls this information from Google Planner, so that you actually get the exact match search volume. Okay, so now I know that there's genuinely lots of people searching, 74,000 average per month searching for beef jerky. Okay, and then what we do is we create this bar chart that shows you the seasonality. Okay, so then I can see that beef jerky itself is pretty consistent throughout the year. Okay, but if I go down to deer jerky, all right, then deer jerky actually only has most of its traffic at December, December and January. Okay, so that's where all the traffic is there. And so the bar chart helps you see that straight away, and so with your targeting, something seasonal or something that's sustainable over time. Okay, and then these two columns here, competition and CPC, are there simply just to tell you whether, first of all, there's a high competition. Okay, so in other words, the closer it is to 1, then the higher the competition is, and that tells you lots of advertisers are competing for that keyword. And then, of course, you got the CPC itself, so you can see, whether it's actually got value. Okay, and if I scroll down here, so fresh beef jerky's got the highest value there at $3.69. Okay, and as I said, beef jerky is just a fun topic, so I'm not saying go out and create an authority site on beef jerky.
What is the competition column? Can you talk about that a little bit? Is the higher the number the better, the lower the number the better?
So the closer to 1, so you can see it's a decimal at the moment. So so it's 0.89, for example, and 1 is high competition, or 0.99. You know what I mean? Is high competition. So so that's how that works. Now, but so you can, first of all, so from that, right, so you can identify your suggest, and you can pull down and understand what keywords have value and have traffic. Okay, but there are other keyword tools that do that. Okay, so this isn't, what we do is take this to a whole new level now. And what we have is this next thing called related questions. So if I save, just for example, I can just click on save for one of these keywords, and I go to this thing called related questions. And when I click on one of these keywords, down the right hand side here, I've got 100 different blog titles created for me. Okay, so for example, here, five 5 ways to create fresh beef jerky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what I can do is extend that even further. So instead of just 5 ways to create beef jerky, I can right click and I get this menu that pops up that helps me fill in the blanks. Okay, so instead of just 5 ways, yeah, I can like click on descriptors and I can say something like 5 mind-blowing ways to create, let's do, I don't know, eye-opening beef jerky, eye-opening fresh beef jerky, right? So now all of a sudden you've actually got, a title there that's going to get attention.
Yeah? Right.
See what I mean?
So you don't have to get a doctorate degree in copywriting. You can easily just a couple clicks, you can have a very, very attractive title to use it for your blog.
Exactly. So you can see straight away. So and straight away you can actually go and do that. And the other thing you can do is taking any of these, any of these keywords. You can, let's take beef jerky and search. And you got a tool here that will help you find out the actual questions that people are asking. So if you click on who, then it says like, who first made beef jerky? All right. These are the questions that people are actually typing into Google. All right. Or how, how do you make beef jerky? How do you know when beef jerky is done dehydrating? Okay. So these are all the questions that people are asking. Yeah. And this is what helps you create the content, right? Because if you understand what people are asking, then you know what kind of answers to put in your content.
Right.
Yeah.
Does this return how many times that the question being searched, or is there a way to study that?
No, because there are so many.
Right.
In a month they're probably 1s and 2s and 3s or 10s. They're not huge numbers.
Okay.
Yeah. But because they're so long tail. All right. So you don't necessarily use this for your title, but you should use it for your content. Make sure that your content
like a subtitle or something. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can see straight away, this is the thing, with like 100 different like templates there, and then by right clicking to fill in the blanks, then no matter what level of English you are, you can construct something like really, really quickly that will get you clicks.
And it also cures the writer's block as well.
Yeah, well, that's what I find, right?
Yeah.
Because you are sitting there thinking, well, how can I make this interesting? And just scanning through this, all of a sudden, there's about 3 or 4 different that pop out for you. Right. And then the other thing we put in here is a domain checker, so that you can just check domains really quickly. Okay, so I can just click on search, and it pulls back a lot of keyword domains. And then all I have to do, is highlight the ones I think are interesting, and then it will just go and check whether they're actually available or not, and they just come back here. Okay. But what I also like though is this tool here called brands, and this is where we kind of put adjectives and verbs and nouns in front, of the keyword. So you've got append or prepend. So in other words, append means put it after, prepend means put before. And so I can just choose like some variations there, click on search, and what it does, it comes back with brandable type domains. Okay, I mean, when we were talking about this earlier, I was saying like there's one there called Captain Beef Jerky. Captain Beef Jerky. There was another one. So Captain Beef Jerky is available. Dr. Beef Jerky was another one. Where is it? There we go. So Dr. Beef Jerky can be like another, authority site, that that I can actually create and create posts for, but it's like a real brand, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Makes sense?
Yes.
So that's and there's a few other things there. We got a little tool to help you find backlinks and traffic. But the fundamental thing is being able to research a niche that actually has money, actually has traffic, and combine those keywords, and with the title generator.
Okay.
And from any screen you can jump about to another screen. So for example, if I wanted to check domain availability, look at suggestions, look at related questions, you just sort of click on the little icon here and it pulls it over for you, okay, into one of these other screens. So there you have it. So I think I think it's a great tool for anyone in marketing, even if you're not in SEO. It's still really good just researching niches and having that on your desktop straight away, just for creating like interesting titles, for seeing whether a topic has value. You know how it is. You know how you might be sitting there and think, and someone might mention some keyword or some sort of topping conversation, and you suddenly have that brainwave, oh, I wonder, that might make a really cool niche, and you just want to quickly go and research it, then this is the tool to do that.
Okay, cool. Cool. So this is keyword and niche research focused tool.
Yeah. So it's keyword, it's niche research, and it helps you get traffic because it helps you create those real viral headlines that people love to click. Right.
Okay. All right. Would you mind come back to the cam so I can ask a specific question about the offer itself?
Sure. I'm there.
Okay. Here we go. Let me check here. All right. So let's talk about the name of the product again and time to launch and who's going to be really beneficial for getting this.
So Keyword XP is the product. It's version 3. And right now you could get that. In fact, you can't get it on the live site because we disabled the live button because we're launching it next Tuesday. Okay. But the normal retail price is $17 per month, and so that's about $200 per year. And but we're going to do like a special offer launch on Tuesday, and that's Tuesday the 7th at 12 noon Eastern.
Okay.
And so that's good. We're going to launch this out to basically anyone in marketing. Okay, so obviously the SEOs who are watching this, they'll get it straight away. Okay, but also anyone else who's needs if you're in Amazon niche, if you're doing Amazon products or FBA or something like that, then you want to look on Amazon. Amazon suggests you can do that. eBay is another good source for keywords, e-commerce style keywords as well. You can do that. And even Amazon, one of the tricks for getting traffic to your product is to make sure the headline is correct, right? And make sure the headline is interesting. So there's lots of different things there that will help anyone in marketing get traffic and sell product.
And I have a huge list of video marketers with me who's watching this probably right now. So,
right.
I mean, if you ever stuck making a video for your niches, this tool will definitely overcome that what I call a writer block, and you got all kinds of crazy idea there. So you not only leverage on the video, but once you create the video, you can convert that into a blog post as well, which is you get a kind of like you kind of leverage off one-time work and do 2 different formats. So this is a great tool for that.
Yeah, cool.
All right, so let's talk about the front-end offer. How many days are you going to keep this open? What's the starting price? And what exactly are they getting with this special offer?
So it's going to launch on Tuesday just for 1 week, okay? And then it will go back to the normal sort of $200 per year. And just for the launch, instead of doing on a recurring, we're going to do like a one-time lifetime license, and we're going to open up to like 2 license levels. One's called Pro, which includes the tool that gets you all the traffic data. Okay, the traffic, the CPC, all that sort of data is going to be in the Pro version. And that will go out at $47 as a lifetime special offer.
Okay.
And then there'll be a lower level for people who don't want necessarily all the traffic side and just want some of the other tools, and that will be at $37.
Okay. All right. So there are 2 buy buttons. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. All right. So what is let's talk about the OTO. What are the OTOs?
So if we think back to Upworthy, and their success, Upworthy is one of the highest traffic blogs around, and they start in 2012, and all they do is focus on headlines, and they do 3. There's 3 elements, Obviously, they got really clever copywriters, and there's a lot of psychology behind the headlines. Okay, so they invest a lot in the headline. The second thing is they make sure the niche or the topic is high volume or trending. Okay, so both of those 2 areas are covered in Keyword XP. Okay, and the third thing that Upworthy, all these other blogs do is they curate content. Okay. And they create content from news sources and blogs and things like that are happening all the time. And so the upsell is Kudani, and Kudani is the tool that help you curate content as well. Okay. So like with that whole combo, you'll have everything you need basically to create like real authority sites that are actually going to get traffic, they're going to get clicks, and you're going to be able to do it in the shortest amount of time. Okay.
So what is the starting out price for that one?
For Kudani will be at $97 for a lifetime.
Okay.
And that's instead of $297 per year. We normally charge for that.
Okay. Cool. Now, is there any other OTO after that, or that's
there will be? Yeah, there will be. So we talked about promoting your posts, and so one thing that a lot of people don't do enough of is promote the post afterwards. And so we have a product called Kudani Announce, and that announces your post out to all the social properties like Facebook, like Twitter, and quite a few others, and it enables you to do that in a scheduled way. So basically, as soon as that post hits your blog, then it will automatically go out to Facebook, and then like the next day it will go out to Twitter, and the next day it will go out to some other social property. You know what I mean? And so by doing that, then all the promotion side of your blog's taken care of. Yeah.
Okay.
So you kind of like have the full toolkit then, for creating like really cool content and promoting it at the same time.
Okay. So what is the price on that one, if you don't mind to share?
So that would be at $97 as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So and again, it's lifetime license. So we're just doing this for this week. We're just going to do lifetime licenses for everyone.
Okay.
I think it's an awesome package for people. I think they're going to love it.
Okay. All right. So, first of all, that's all the funnels, right? That's the entire. We covered everything. Or...
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. And so, I think that's about all the questions I need to ask you, Paul. But one last question is: as people watching this interview, they know that. How powerful your keyword is, especially after the demo. I think you're the only one does the headline stuff and combine the power kind of research actually with niche research at the same time. They absolutely want to get this, want to buy this, but everyone has that little hesitation, a little negative voice in the head telling them don't do anything, don't take action. So my question to you, Paul, is what makes this software, software so unique that you'll absolutely go grab during this launching period?
So by far, no one else does this. Okay, so no one else combines high value keywords with viral blog title generation. Okay, and so that's like for the first time, and it's the one thing that no one really focuses on, and yet it's the thing that it's like the big mistake, right? It's no good getting your site ranked. We talked about this before. It's not about ranking your keyword, it's about the traffic, and the only way to get the traffic is to make the keywords or the titles clickable. So people actually click on them. And so the viral title generator, which is obviously the core thing behind the success of Upworthy and all that, that is probably the most important thing. And if you combine that with the keyword research tool, with the domain checker and the backlink checker, then you've got like the whole package there, all in one really cool desktop tool.
Okay. All right. So this is I think the only tool that actually gonna help people not only overcome the writer block, but also generate the actual clicks to them for people who are really interesting inside that niche. And this is you're saving a lot of money to using this tool instead of hire a copywriter, because I mean, there's just no comparison how much you're gonna have to pay a copywriter to write stuff like this for you every single post. Plus, you're gonna get a lifetime access during this launching period, and once it's over, you're gonna pay monthly fee. So why do that when you can get it right now? And
right.
And so, but I think you also have something very kind of special for us as well. To give my audience who's watching this as a bonus. Would you mind to share that with us a little bit here?
Sure. So for you guys, so what I've done is put together a package of all the other kind of things that you're going to need. All right. I don't want to basically, I don't. What I hate is when you buy a course or a product, and then they say you got to. Oh, be really good if you went and bought this from somewhere else, or I recommend you get this. I like to think that if you get one thing, you've got everything. Yeah. And so the bonuses I put together, a lot of people are talking about PBNs and private blog networks recently, and I actually produced one of the first courses on this whole topic called Link Juice Force.
Okay.
And so I'm providing that. That's worth $100, and I'm providing that to you guys. I'm also providing like one of my best courses called Penalty Recovery Method, which covers like the 200 Google signals that Google obviously uses when they look at your site. That's included. And then what I've also included is a course, an end-to-end course, all on content marketing. It's called Content Marketing Mastery. And it's what all the corporates are doing now. It's the whole approach from like the top down on, producing content and obviously getting it out there. And the last thing I'm providing is a book that I publish on Amazon, and not a Kindle book, like a hardback, it's a softback book, called Press Release Power, and which is all about engineering press releases that actually get traffic. Okay, so it's almost like SEO optimizing press releases, using the interesting titles that you're going to learn through the software, and combining that, and all the places you can publish a press release as well. For obviously a low cost, because press releases are a great source of traffic, but no one ever does it right. So you get all that as well.
Okay, cool. So if you had to estimate what the total value we're talking about here, what would it be?
Well, that's at least $350.
Okay, cool.
Just for that bonus package,
All right, awesome. All right, so Paul, and before we leave here today, do you have maybe some final word of wisdom you'd like to share with us?
Don't stop. I think there's a lot of successful marketers on you know, and all that. But also a lot of people who are probably thinking, will this ever happen? They probably get very frustrated, and you know, just jumping from thing to thing. And you know, there's no other industry where you can actually like change overnight from, you know, having nothing into success. Yeah. You know, unless you're a singer or something, you get picked up in Hollywood. I don't know, but there's honestly, you know, things change in this business so fast, you know, and you just got to keep at one thing and become a master of that, you know, that one thing. You know, my one thing, you know, even though it's SEO, is how I all started and got into it. But at the end of the day, my thing is software, right? And you know, that's how, you know, it's producing the tools that have enabled others to have success, have made me successful. All right. So by me empowering other people, it comes round to me at the end of the day. Okay. Right. So, you know, and all it's been is just consistent. You know, I mean, I've been doing this for years, but I haven't been successful for years. You know, the majority of that time is just late nights, you know, on the laptop and all that. And it's when, you know, when that movie comes on and you think, shall I watch a movie or shall I like continue working on my business, you know? And of course it's those kind of decisions, yeah, that make the difference, you know? I mean, even nowadays, right? So we're working, it's a Saturday and we're working, you know? I mean, my family are, you know, my daughter, you might have seen in the background, and my wife, you know, because I'm in my sort of home office here. My main house is up at the other side of the property, but it's a Saturday, we're still working, right? And it's always like that, yeah. But the beauty of it is that midweek or whenever, if I want to go to the beach or go surfing or something, you can just do it, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You're in control. It's your business. You're the entrepreneur,
right?
And I think as soon as you start thinking about that, you think of it as a business and understand that, you know, you've got to turn off Facebook. You've got to take it seriously. You've got to just keep going at it, and you know that it will happen. Yeah, it's not like if it will happen, it will happen. Yeah, so you've got to know, you've got to kind of have that certainty, you know, in your mind that it will happen, and the more you then do that, obviously, you know, it will pay off.
Great. Those are awesome tips you just gave in here. So on that note, guys, thank you so much for spending the time with us on our Saturday afternoon or evening here, and hopefully you guys learn a lot. And make sure you go grab this when it launches, so you can get the lifetime license for this instead of have to pay monthly later. And Paul, thank you so much for sharing this awesome tool with us as well.
It's a pleasure.
Stay tuned. Watch a very short sales/demo video, so you know exactly how this is going to really save you tons of time and save you tons of money as well. And on that note, Paul, I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon.
Absolutely, Han. Thanks for having me on again. I really appreciate it. It's been really good fun.
All right, thank you, Paul. Cheers.
See you soon. Bye. Keyword XP, what you can start off doing on the basic tab is just type in a keyword. I like beef jerky, and at a very simple level, you could just literally click on search and it pulls back the topmost phrases for beef jerky. So obviously beef jerky hydrator, beef jerky recipes, and what I can do is highlight these and click on what's called the trends button, and I can examine that keyword to see whether it's something worth investing. You know, is it something that's got a long-term future? Is it increasing in volume or decreasing? And obviously beef jerky recipes, for example, this is coming in reasonably recently compared to, you know, the history of beef jerky. But the real magic is that two things. One, that you don't have to search just over Google. You can search over Amazon, Bing, eBay, Ask YouTube. So if you want to look at more e-commerce style words, then look for Amazon and Bing. You know, if you want to look for video type traffic, then go to YouTube. But what you can also do is drill down into any of these phrases. So let's take beef jerky. Now, if I put an asterisk at the end, and let's put one at the beginning. All right, so let's see, basically I want everything to do with beef jerky. What's that going to give me? And I click this button here called drill down, and off it goes. And now it's really trying to find out everything within Google that is remotely to do with beef jerky. And so this provides me with tons of keywords, and as you can see, it's doing this really, really quickly. So straight away I've got like 762 results there, and I'm sure if I shortened it and went for something like just beef, then and did a query on that, then obviously the list is going to be even longer. And there we have it, 2,791 keywords, all to do with beef. Okay, so that is how you can really find the long tails. Then you can skip to the Pro tab, and I can do the same kind of search. And what it's doing now is it's pulling in all the keywords from Planner and associated with all those search volumes, exact match search volumes, so I can see really where there's any like real people searching behind this. And what I can do, of course, is simply sort in search order. I can look at, with the searches are seasonal, so where there's a certain spike. So for example, beef tenderloin has a spike in January, and I can get an idea of the competition and, the actual value, of a particular keyword. And so straight away, by sorting here, I can see that there's some really, really interesting keywords, and I can see that people are actually looking to how to make it themselves. So they're probably looking for recipes, and best jerky recipe is one of the topmost search words. So what I can do then is let's just save a couple of these words, and what I'll do then is go across to what's called the related questions tab, and this is where I can start to do two things. One, look for what people are actually searching for. Okay, so for example, this is the keyword that I've just put in, how to make beef jerky. There's another one here, best homemade beef jerky recipe. And if I search here, then in these windows here I can see in detail what the real questions people are actually asking for in the background. Okay, so if I click on how to, then I can see people are searching for how to dehydrate it, how to do it in an oven, so how to dehydrate beef jerky without using a dehydrator. Okay, so lots of people are wanting to create beef jerky, but don't want to go out and buy a dehydrator, so they're looking for recipes and things like that for doing it at home. Okay, so this is what the content of my article should be structured around, but you can see there's loads of different types of articles, and you can click on any of these questions to dig deeper and give yourself ideas on other topics that people might want to be searching for. So let's go back though to this one here. So we've got is beef jerky paleo, homemade beef jerky recipes. Let's target this one, best homemade beef jerky recipe. Okay, and let's create a title straight from that. And you can see down the right hand side here that we've got 100 different titles already created that I can just customize straight away to generate something that's going to get me clicks. And so if I scroll down and look for something that jumps out at me, let's have a look at so 5 secret strategies to improve something, best homemade beef jerky recipe. So that could work. Let's make it a bit more interesting. So let's add an adjective here. So if I right click in this sentence, then you can see a little window pops up with lots of suggestions for me to make and connect the sentence together. So let's do a descriptor, and you might not be able to see this on the screen, but let's choose mind-blowing. So 5 mind-blowing secret strategies is a bit too corporate. Let's change that to something like, and again I'm just looking at the techniques group here. And again, you probably can't see me selecting this off screen, but I'm selecting the word tactics. So 5 mind-blowing secret tactics to, and let's just do to the, and again, I can obviously type in the, or I can just choose, a quick selection here, which just speeds up the process for me. So there we have it. 5 mind-blowing secret tactics to the best homemade beef jerky recipe. I can tell you now that that is going to get more clicks than any standard beef jerky type blog post or Facebook post that's going out there. So straight away, I've got something that's really, really going to work, get me traffic. I know the types of questions that people are asking for, so I know the type of content to put behind it. But let's just look at a couple of other features within Keyword XP. So domain check enables you to check any domain from any window straight away, or I can do it from this tab literally by clicking on search, and this will do the keyword search again, expand all these long tails, and you can select any one or group of these and ask it just to check the domain availability for you. But what I find more interesting is to go across to what's called the brands section. And this is where, if I want to create a blog for beef jerky, for example, I want to create something a bit more memorable than beefjerkyrecipes.com. And so what I like to do is create brands around that. And we've got these tool here that helps you look for domains that are actually smart enough to create authority blogs. So let's, for example, click on nouns, click on search, and what it's done is it's gone through a database of nouns and created a whole load of different type of blog titles that might work for me. And so if I scroll through this list here, then I can see, like, okay, so Captain Beef Jerky, that would make a good sort of authority blog, Captain Beef Jerky. Let's see if that's available. Click check. Yes, that is. Let's have a look through, see if there's anything else. And okay, here's another one, Dr. Beef Jerky. Okay, that's perfect. That will make a really, really good blog, because I think Dr. Beef Jerky, you can write about recipes, you can write about the health benefits, how to make it at home, and of course, you can then sell, on your blog, different Amazon products and even food products, and either get commission or actually the full revenue for it. So the other tab that you've got here as well is what's called the Discovery tab, and this is where you can actually search for backlink opportunities, incoming traffic, or you can click on the Advanced section here and customize any of these what we call search patterns within Google. So for example, if I want to write a guest post for someone, then I can search for different blogs that have guest post opportunities or guest writer opportunities. In other words, they take blog posts for guest posters. And what it does, it grabs these blogs, the URLs, the titles, and it grabs the Alexa score, so you can see whether something is worth targeting or not, because there's no point targeting a blog that has no traffic. Okay, so for example, here's one here for OK Dork. So there you have it. That's in the nutshell Keyword XP. It enables you to drill down, find the real words that people are actually searching for, find the high traffic words, whether they have any value, and create really interesting, eye-catching and clickable blog titles and titles to other posts on Facebook and other social properties.